informed the court at the start of Wednesday's morning trial that the prosecution is concerned because portions of the first two witnesses' testimony, Parag and former election observer Rosalind Rasool, were excluded from the trial because the magistrate ruled them inadmissible. The primary issue brought up by the prosecution was evidence inadmissibility. Ramdani contended that the prosecution's case depends heavily on the first two witnesses, whose testimony ought to be heard in its entirety. He added that a number of things that had occurred over the previous 2 days had caused him concern. Quote unquote, "From time to time you have expressively said, I am not writing that, and it gave me the impression that I felt at the time that these were important bits of evidence," he stated. Magistrate Daly then told the prosecution that if she expressed that she will not be writing certain parts of the evidence, it is because she has concerns about admissibility. She added, quote unquote, "I do understand my duty. I would not just sit here and refuse to write evidence that's admissible. I am not happy that you would think that of this court." Ramdani went further and stated that on 40 occasions he would have heard a magistrate saying that she was not writing evidence. This statement did not sit well with the magistrate, who told the prosecution that his claim of 40 occasions is gross exaggeration. The magistrate then came off the bench, where she held an in-chambers meeting with the prosecution and the defense. Following the meeting, the magistrate went back to the bench, where she adjourned the matter to August 5, 2024. Meanwhile, King's Counsel Darshan Ramdani, while speaking to reporters outside the courtroom, said the prosecution made submissions about admissibility of evidence.
Questions about hearsay evidence, how it can be used. A man who says something and he's charged, whether that evidence can be used against another defendant, whether that defendant is in his presence or not. The other side is asked to make some submissions in relation to the matter.
On Tuesday afternoon, former election observer Rosalind Rasool took the stand, where she told the court of the dispute between party officials and representatives of the Guyana Elections Commission (GCOM) about the tabulation and announcement of the Region 4 results. Following an investigation into the March 2020 general and regional elections and subsequent events, criminal charges were brought against former GCOM officials and others for their alleged involvement in attempting to allegedly rig the elections. They collectively face 19 electoral fraud-related charges in court. Tianako reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Government is awarded an $8.6 million contract to Power China for the construction of a building that will house the National Control Center for the Gas to Energy project. Carissa Gonzalez has the details.
On Tuesday, the government of Guyana finalized an $8.6 million contract with the Chinese firm Power China, chosen from 3 shortlisted bidders to construct a facility for the National Control Center for the Gas to Energy project at the office of the Prime Minister in Camp Street. Prime Minister Brigadier retired Mark Phillips, during the signing ceremony, underscored the important role the building will play in managing the power output from the Gas to Energy project.
It will be reliable, and thirdly, as mentioned by Minister Indar, the cost will go down. We promise the people that we will reduce the cost of electricity by 50%, and we will deliver on that promise.
Meanwhile, Deodat Indar, Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, outlined that the Gas to Energy initiative includes multiple concurrent elements. These are deep water, shallow water, and underground pipelines, the development of the materials offloading facility in Wales, West Bank Demerara, construction of access roads and a power plant, and the installation of transmission lines connecting to the control center. He urged contractors to adhere to the project schedule, emphasizing that this is the final phase of the project.
I want to implore on the contractor to keep on timelines, keep on specification, and keep on timelines, because this project is one that is looked at by everyone.
However, Kesh Nandal, head of the Executive Management Committee of Guyana Power and Light, GPL, stated that the new building, planned for Betfo acting on the east coast of Demerara and expected to be completed within 3 months, will be the central operational hub for the grid.
It is intended to house the SCAD equipment.
Reporting for the HGP Nightly News, I am Carice Gonzalez.
Senior Minister of Finance Dr. Ashley Singh sought supplementary funding totaling $40.6 billion during the 84th sitting of the National Assembly. Antonia Day reports.
Supplementary estimates current advances made from the contingencies fund totaling $8,566,812,000 for the period from 1st of April to 30th of July 2024 and 5 financial paper number 2 of 2024. Supplementary estimates current and capital totaling $32,182,604,021 for the period ended 31st December 2024.
So that was Senior Minister of Responsibility of Finance, Dr. Ashley Singh, on Wednesday presenting Financial Papers 1 and 2, which amounted to over $40 billion during the 84th sitting of the National Assembly. Among the major sectors are electricity, where a total of $60 million is being sought for the Guyana Power and Light Company, GPL, of which $4 billion falls under the Financial Paper 1 and $12 billion in Financial Paper 2. Additionally, the government is seeking a supplementary approval of $1.1 billion for additional resources to support electricity companies in Linden, Lethem, Mabaruma, and Matthews Ridge. Financial Paper 2 also caters for a sum of $1.6 billion under the Ministry of Public Works for sea and river defense works, $297.4 million to support the operations of the Transport and Harbors Department, $159.2 million for the completion of the Bartica Selling, and $680.5 million to facilitate critical upgrades to ferry vessels. Antonia Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Join us after this break for more news.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Dolman Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality, and key.
You don't leave anything to chance. Every day you click it, lock it, and mask up. Now press, rub, and wash with Sterling Super Soap. Our antibacterial formula eliminates 99.9% of all germs and bacteria. Clean and moisturize your hands with 4 refreshing and rejuvenating fragrances. Get super clean with Sterling Super Soap.
Krishna Rock Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Rock Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Guyana. On Thursday, August 1st, all roads lead to the National Park at the African Culture and Development Association, ACDA, hosts its 31st Emancipation Festival. Bring the entire family for a day of African cultural celebration with information, sports, African food, free children's fun center, African craft, fashion, and much more. Come see amazing local superstars like Samuel Midas, Charmin Blackman, Big Red, Firstborn, Lambi, Zion Kid, Gadai, Dynamic Force, Brass Kofi, Joro Dancers, Butella Lewis, Nature Boy, and much more, all backed by the famed band. International cultural acts from Suriname and Nigeria. Come, let's culminate our celebration of the culture of our forefathers with special guests all the way from Kingston, Jamaica, Mr. August Downs, Dwayne Stevenson, and his amazing ensemble. Gates open at 10 a.m. sharp. Adults, $1,500 before 5 p.m. $2,000 after. It's a family affair. See you there. Harambe, we all pull together.
Make your home look great with sash windows from Gaffurs. They're fitted with 4mm thick glass, with a male and female frame that's easy to join. Comes with a built-in mosquito screen. You can adjust the opening for ventilation to suit yourself. And it has a safety locking mechanism too. Yes, Gaffur's sash windows not only look good, they've got all the great features that make them the best design in windows anywhere. Get Gaffur's sash windows for the perfect fit and finish for your home from the MacDoom Mega Store and Gaffur's outlets of Parika, Means, Land of Canaan, Rose Hall, Beatty, Kanji, and Diamond. Call 223-9896 for more information anytime. Gaffur's, the name you can trust.
Welcome back with the HGP Nightly News. The Matrimonial Causes Bill, which seeks to amend Guyana's long-standing Matrimonial Causes Act regarding spousal maintenance, was passed during the 84th sitting of the National Assembly. Antonio Day has the details.
The Matrimonial Causes Bill, which significantly influence future divorce proceedings locally and promote a fair approach to postmarital financial support. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandalal, during the 84th sitting of the National Assembly, spoke on the significance of the bill.
To ensure that there is affection and there is not wrath and anger and hostility permeating the relationship. Because that is not what we want between a husband and wife after their marriage ends.
The bill reforms the existing act by removing existing discriminatory provisions to bring the law into conformity with certain fundamental rights guaranteed under the Constitution. Section 14 of the Principal Act states on the dissolution or nullity of marriage, the court may order that a husband may pay maintenance or alimony to a wife. At this juncture, the Attorney General gave a summary of the importance of Section 14.
In determining the quantum of maintenance a party to the marriage may be entitled to under this section, the court shall have consideration of the following matters only: age, state of health of the parties, income, property, financial resource, physical, mental capacity of each of them, gainful employment, whether the party has care and custody of a child of the marriage.
The bill's intended amendment was in wake of a ruling by Chief Justice Acting Roxanne George, who recently deemed Section 14 of the Matrimonial Causes Act, Chapter 4502, discriminatory based on sex and gender, as it exclusively permitted wives to obtain maintenance post-divorce. The outcome emerged when a divorced man contested the prevailing legal structure after being barred from seeking maintenance from his ex-wife. The Chief Justice highlighted that the current stipulations of the Matrimonial Causes Act unjustly discriminated against men, contravening constitutional mandates against sex and gender-based discrimination. The bill, which was read for the third time, received consent from both members of the government and the opposition. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Minister of Finance Dr. Ashni Singh says the government will not tolerate employers who fail to remit employees' contributions to the National Insurance Scheme. Daisy Richards has more.
Senior Minister of Finance Dr. Ashni Singh, during the graduation exercise for new National Insurance Scheme NIS inspectors, said that the government will not tolerate employers who fail to pay their employees' contributions. The minister highlighted that persons who retire at the age of 60 should be able to easily access their pensions.
This government's position is that we have zero tolerance for employers failing to pay over their NIS contributions to the scheme.
The minister added that there were approximately 18,000 cases where persons were yet to receive their pension from NIS. Some have passed the age of retirement and still unable to access their benefits from the insurance scheme.
But we are not where we need to be. We are not where we need to be. Far too many people achieve or attain their age of retirement and then encounter difficulties to get their NIS pension.
In the most recent case, the minister highlighted that during an outreach, the government has ensured security companies pay contributions for more than 2,000 workers.
That as a result of a dedicated effort by government and the NIS focusing specifically on these schemes, that we've had security companies come in and pay for more than 2,100 security guards.
Dr. Singh said the government wants NIS to immediately tackle this issue.
And we would like you immediately, not to prepare a plan or to do a study. We would like you immediately to ramp up your efforts starting now, to ensure that all employers are paying over NIS deductions to the scheme for all of their employees.
For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
The Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance has successfully launched the first international human rights law course, registering over 190 persons. Here again is Daisy Richards.
Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance Gail Teixeira, in her address at the launch of the first international human rights law course, said that the course comes after the government came to a realization that a number of persons were unaware of Guyana's constitution and laws, and as such developed an educational program.
We assumed that people knew about basic things like human rights. And as we went on our sojourn starting in 21, that we discovered that certain assumptions were wrong, that people thought they had but didn't have a real understanding of our constitution, the conventions, and so forth.
With this newfound realization, Teixeira said the government has been training Guyanese on basic human rights within various committees and ministries. Efforts were made to give access to a greater number of persons.
So we started playing with the idea of doing an international human rights law certificate program of our own that would be open to persons who may or may not have degrees or may not have the same requirements or eligibilities to go to the University of Guyana.
The course received over 1,000 applications, which was broken down to 250, and to date, 195 persons have since been enrolled.
We tried to balance a bit more with the gender, because we do believe if we're looking at a number of the conventions and our constitution and the human rights laws of Guyana, that we do need to ensure that male participation is being developed and encouraged.
The course will run for 10 weeks, with classes being held via Zoom twice weekly, as well as in-person interactions. According to the minister, there will be a number of facilitators, including Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
More news after this break. Stay with us.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1. Give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
In today's fast-paced world of modern finance, with its many options and opportunities, you will need good advice and help getting value for your money. Hand-in-Hand Trust is the way to go. From owning your own home or business with our residential and commercial mortgages to drive a new car with a vehicle loan, we'll help you realize your dreams. You can also access investment deposit accounts, share brokerage services, personal trust, thrift and pension plan trusteeship, property management, investment portfolio management, safe deposit boxes, the convenience of our Cambio, Western Union, and Bill Express services, hand-in-hand trust for financial services and more, helping you get the most out of your financial resources and your life.
Guyana, on Thursday, August 1st, all roads lead to the National Park at the African Culture and Development Association, ACDA, hosts its 31st Emancipation Festival. Bring the entire family for a day of African cultural celebration with information, sports, African food, free children's fun center, African craft, fashion, and much more. Come see amazing local superstars like Samuel Midas, Charmin Blackman, Big Red, Firstborn, Lambi, Zion Kid, Gadai, Dynamic Force, Brass Kofi, Joro Dancers, Botella Lewis, Nature Boy, and much more, all backed by the famed band. International cultural acts from Suriname and Nigeria. Come, let's culminate our celebration of the culture of our forefathers with special guests all the way from Kingston, Jamaica, Mr. Augustine, Dwayne Stevenson, and his amazing ensemble. Gates open at 10 a.m. sharp. Adult, $1,500 before 5 p.m. $2,000 after. It's a family affair. See you there. Harambe, we all pull together.
Thanks for staying with us. You were the HGP Nightly News. As Guyana heads into the August, September, October season, the latest weather outlook predicts a mix of dry spells and increased temperatures across the country. Carice Gonzalez reports.
According to a report from the Ministry of Agriculture's Hydrometeorological Service, the seasonal rainfall outlook for August, September, October, ASO, 2024, indicates a significant likelihood of dry spells, with up to 11 instances of 7-day periods receiving less than 1 mm of rainfall. Coastal regions are particularly expected to experience an increase in these dry spells. Historically, this period is part of the long dry season in Guyana, with minimal flooding and the highest rainfall generally seen in regions 1 and 7. However, the upcoming 3-month forecast suggests a shift towards below normal rainfall, which may result in dry conditions compared to previous years. The number of wet days defined as days with rainfall exceeding 0.9 mm is also expected to be lower than usual, with up to 51 such days typically observed in July to September period. The forecast highlights potential increases in wet days in regions 1 and 9, but predicts a decrease in surface wetness as the season progresses. Flash floods risk are anticipated to be lower, but there is still a notable chance of exceeding average rainfall days, especially in regions 1, 3, 6, 7, and 9. Temperature-wise, all regions are expected to experience above normal temperatures, with daytime temperatures likely to exceed 32 degrees Celsius. There is a high probability of increased heat waves, potentially leading to extreme fatigue and heat-related illnesses. The forecast predicts that the upcoming months will see warmer than usual temperatures both during the day and at night, continuing the trend observed in recent months. Additionally, the seasonal outlook indicates no significant short-term drought concerns by the end of October 2024, with sufficient rainfall expected to replenish water sources adequately. However, higher malaria prevalence and favorable conditions for dengue fever are anticipated due to the warmer temperatures. Looking ahead, the November, December, January NDJ 2024-2025 forecast suggests a shift towards above normal rainfall in coastal regions and selected areas, while other parts of the country may continue to experience below normal precipitation. This forecast is based on current ENSO neutral conditions, with models predicting that this neutral phase will persist through the ASO season. The International Research Institute and Climate Prediction Center confirm a 55% confidence on ENSO neutral conditions, suggesting a continuation of typical historical weather patterns for Guyana. Reporting for the HGP Nightly News, I am Carice Gonzalez.
New detectives on Monday graduated from the Guyana Police Force's Criminal Investigations Department. Here is Tiana Cole with the details.
The Guyana Police Force's Criminal Investigation Department, which is spread throughout the respective regional police divisions, is expected to be strengthened soon, as some 52 ranks would have successfully completed the department's induction course on Monday. The graduation ceremony was held at Officers Training Center, Camp Road, where participants were presented with certificates and special awards. The 7-week course began on June 10, 2024, during which participants were exposed to core topics critical to conducting criminal investigations. The course consisted mainly of police ranks as well as personnel from the Guyana Defense Force, the Guyana Fire Service, Guyana Prison Service, and the Ethnic Relations Commission. Woman Constable Abigail Abel was adjudged Best Graduating Student, while Constables Jared Harris and Anil Narain took second and third places respectively. They were all awarded with trophies for the extra effort and outstanding performances. The ranks who were drawn from the various divisions and departments will be returning to the respective stations where they are expected to dispense the knowledge gained in the various areas to prevent, detect, and solve crimes. Crime Chief Bennett Blanham, during his address, welcomed the new detectives to the world of criminal investigations and reminded them that detective work is not for the faint-hearted and that under his command, meritocracy will be the key to their advancement. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
ExxonMobil Guyana was one of the sponsors of the recently concluded CARICOM Classic Chess Tournament, a week-long regional competition featuring teams from Guyana, the Bahamas, Barbados, the Cayman Islands, Dominica, Jamaica, St. Lucia, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago. We recently sat down with two top players and the Guyana Chess Federation president to chat about the local chess scene. Meet FIDE Master Anthony Drayton and Candidate Master Taffin Khan.
Chess is actually booming in Guyana right now because of all the progress that the Chess Federation has made with the chess program in the schools. Right now we've covered like about 2,000 young persons. We've never had so many young persons playing chess at the same time in Guyana. Right, and due to all these chess activities and tourists at the CARICOM tournament and the Chess Olympiad, chess is more competitive now.
You'll be playing against the best of the best in every region. So far, I only ever had like 10,000 people in the world who obtain Canadian Master title out of 750 million people who play chess. And field master title about 7,000. I am playing around 5,000 and grandmasters around 2,000 in the history since the so for obtaining these titles is a really hard thing to do.
Just like how a normal person prep for an interview or prep for a job, you're preparing for it all the time, and you also analyze sometimes you psychoanalyze your opponents also to figure out their weaknesses, where they go wrong, the slight mistakes that they make. Because when you're playing at our level, you're not depending on somebody to blunder. You are open that those slight inaccuracies you can capitalize upon to be able to win a game. So it's not easy. You just go sit there, your opponent blunders, and then you win. So you have to do a lot of preparation work before and even after.
While the local scene is quickly expanding, there are opportunities to participate in international events. In addition to the recent tournament celebrating the 50th anniversary of CARICOM through chess, there's another reason why the tournament was unique to these players.
We're home. Many tournaments we go to, we don't get the comfort of own food. and the environment of being next to persons that is rooting for you. You're among strangers, and you have to not act different, but you have to know, get comfortable with their type of living and the environment. And it's not easy to do that when you're playing in these foreign countries like in Europe and so on, Russia and so on, because it's very cold most times, right? And we're not accustomed to that all the time. So getting adjusted to it is difficult, but we do pull through at the end of the day and get the results that we're looking for, and our titles, right? But yes, homegrown is very good.
My advice is that if you get into chess, start with the end game.
I've actually been playing chess for about 14 plus years now. I learned late. Unlike some of the kids that get the opportunity to learn at 6 and 11 years old, I only learned at 17 years old. 16 years old actually. Right? So imagine if I had learned at 6 years old. You would be so proud of me. You would have definitely known my name.
The Guyana Chess Federation plays a pivotal role in the development of chess in Guyana. Beyond the competition and ranking, chess is a game that fosters creative and strategic thinking. And the Guyana Chess Federation has been working to expand the sport across society, including a focus on special needs students and women.
We had a young girl who became a women's champion, and she said she's now doing her CSEC. And she said her time management at her CSEC exam was because of chess. So, this shows the immediate transfer of what she would have been doing in chess and managing her time is now helping her for her exams.
For the advancement of sports countrywide, $4.6 billion is being invested to provide the environment athletes required to compete at the highest level. This, among other developments, is being supported by oil and gas revenue.
Visit Gaffur's Ironmongery Department for all your building needs. Bolts and nuts, zinc plated, high tensile, anchor bolts and threaded rods. Package nails for your convenience, screws for wood, metal and concrete. Building a fence, we've got cast iron railheads and decorative fencing, gate slides and pivots, laser and barbed wire. For your carpentry needs, we stock tight bond, wood glues and Evo stick, hasps and staples, hinges, butts, catches and brackets, and a wide selection of modern design cupboard handles and knobs. Secure your property and loved ones with quality Yale products such as padlocks, available in several sizes and types, knobs, lever, deadlocks and decorative door locks. Moving heavy loads is easy with caster wheels and hand trucks that cater for any job. For construction, you've got scaffolding along with ladders, multi-purpose, extended, fiberglass and step ladders too. For everything you need under one roof, it's Gaffur's, the name you can trust.
Guyana, on Thursday, August 1st, all roads lead to the National Park at the African Culture and Development Association, ACDA, hosts its 31st Emancipation Festival. Bring the entire family for a day of African cultural celebration with information on sports, African food, free children's fun center, African craft, fashion, and much more. Come see amazing local superstars like Samuel Midas, Charmin Blackman, Big Red, Firstborn, Lambi, Zion Kid, Gadai, Dynamic Force, Brass Kofi, Joro Dancers, Botella Lewis, Nature Boy, and much more, all backed by the famed band. International cultural acts from Suriname and Nigeria. Come, let's culminate our celebration of the culture of our forefathers with special guests all the way from Kingston, Jamaica, Mr. August Downs, Dwayne Stevenson, and his amazing ensemble. Gates open at 10 a.m. sharp. Adults, $1,500 before 5 p.m. $2,000 after. It's a family affair. See you there. Harambe, we all pull together.
Good evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Grenada. CARICOM does not have to take a position on the Venezuelan election because it is a domestic matter, CARICOM Chairman Deacon Mitchell said on Tuesday. The Grenada Prime Minister was responding to a question at the news conference at the conclusion of the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in St. George's on why no statement had been issued on behalf of CARICOM on the disputed outcome of Sunday's presidential election in Venezuela, and whether that was an indication of division within CARICOM over the issue. Asked why CARICOM did not come out with a united statement on the need for a verification process of the votes cast in the election, Mitchell said the question presumed that CARICOM knew for a fact that there was no verification process in Venezuela. However, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Ralph Gonzalez on Monday urged CARICOM leaders to formally recognize the re-election of Maduro. Gonzalez had said he was hoping CARICOM would issue a statement on the outcome of the election. We now bring you news from Trinidad. Doctors are noticing that a lot more children in the critical stage of dengue are presenting neurosymptoms resulting in neurodengue. So said Dr. Joanne Paul, head of the pediatrics department at the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex. Paul and Minister of Health Terence Dial Singh are again advising the public that children are at high risk for dengue and must be closely monitored for changes in symptoms. The minister reiterated that the fight against dengue involves both the government and the public. He also reminded people to keep their surroundings clean and eliminate dengue breeding sources around their homes. The number of deaths remains at 5, with confirmed cases at more than 500 expected to increase, Dial Singh said. Now for some international news. Ismail Haniyeh, the political leader of Hamas, was assassinated in his home in the early hours of Tuesday morning, after attending the inauguration ceremony for Iranian president. An Iranian bodyguard was also killed. The cause of Haniyeh's death is under investigation by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Haniyeh was a prominent figure with Hamas since 1987. He previously served as the Prime Minister of Palestinian Authority and as Hamas chief in the Gaza Strip. In 2017, he was elected head of the Hamas Political Bureau. At the time of his death, Haniyeh was the highest-ranking Hamas political leader killed since the start of the Israel-Hamas war. I am Carice Gonzalez. Thank you for watching.
Election fraud trial day 3, prosecution and defense clash over whether Minister Parag should be allowed to reopen testimony. Matter adjourned to Monday, August 5. Government seeking $40.6 billion in supplementary funding from the National Assembly. Matrimonial causes amendment bill which outlines spousal maintenance passed during 84th sitting of National Assembly. And government to tackle employers who failed to remit employees' NIS contributions. Dr. Singh. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Olitha Grant. Thanks for watching.